Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit of story time. Today's story is about how I had my very first smoking experience. Not talking about weed, I'm talking about cigarettes, alright? Now the weed part has to go into another story because that's a totally different experience, alright? That's a completely different experience. So I'm talking about having my very first cigarette. The story goes back all the way to, I don't know, fucking 2010. 12, I don't fucking remember. It was around my high school days, and little Rex is going to his physics tuition, right? His little bit of science classes, you feel me? So let's call this Mr. Science teacher, I don't know, Mr. Bean, whatever, because I don't want to give out his real name, alright? So yeah, so Mr. Bean was a really good physics teacher, alright? And as a matter of fact, little Rex, by the way, that's me, okay, liked him. And by like him, I meant like really adored him as a role model, if you would say that. So yeah, little Rex is going there on his bicycle, hurrying up because it's already late. Because the tuition is supposed to be at 7 in the evening, but he isn't going there at 8. Alright, he's literally 1 hour late. Right, he's literally 1 hour late, and apparently Mr. Bean hasn't come back from his school. That's fine. I guess that kept Mr. Rex to sneak out with his little pal, who also, by the way, went to the same tuition. Let's call him Jimmy. Alright? Jimmy from Subway. He likes Subway a lot. I can remember those days when me and Jimmy would go way back into Subway and grab every fucking sub and just shove them on each other's mouth. Is it just me or that last part felt a little bit gay? Like, quite a lot gay. So Jimmy and Rex go out, have a little bit of talk, have a little bit of potato chips, you know, the sprinkles, and suddenly Jimmy comes up to Rex and he's like, "Hey, Rex, you wanna try out this one thing that makes all the cool kids the cool kids, huh? I bet you wanna be part of the cool kids family, don't you?" And little Rex didn't know much about all the cool kids stuff. Not much, but he knew that he was getting into some bad stuff, okay? But he said, "Conscience, fuck you, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go try that shit for my own sake." And there he went with Jimmy into the abyss, and there was no turning back. Which I did turn back, which is for another story, like how I came to stop smoking in entirety. So that would be another story. And yeah, so so the tuition had almost started again. So me and Jimmy are sitting right next to each other, and Mr. Bean is writing some lengthy ass fucking equations, like one of those big ass looking motherfucking, you know, integration, whatever the fuck, calculus shit, alright? And me and Jimmy are looking at each other. We're just making memes, like legit memes, like just sitting there. There are like 10 or 5 other students out there. Let's call them, like, I don't know, fucking group of fucking monkeys. I don't fucking know. Okay, so yeah. So the group of fucking monkeys are just looking at imitating what Mr. Bean is doing, and while me and Jimmy are just sitting there making memes out of just, I don't know, fucking drawing cartoon figures. And there is one more person among the whole batch of students out there. We'll call this person Sarah because the person is she, alright? But she was really cool, and believe it or not, she had way more experience than both of us in smoking, alright? And this is gonna come in handy in the later part of the story, alright? So keep that in mind. So the tuition ends, and Mr. Bean is collecting homework, and then kind of like, to be honest, we both forgot about the whole smoking part that we planned. We'd go and have some smokes after the tuition. Like I was literally planning on getting on my bike and just ride back home. But then Mr. Bean asked for our previous week's homework, which then turned out that me and Jimmy both forgot to actually do, whereas Sarah, the other girl who has a ton of shitty experiences on smoking, she had done it. So basically what Mr. Bean made us do is made Sarah explain all the shitty homeworks to us, like after the tuition. It was like another 30 minutes of extra class, but not by Mr. Bean, by Sarah. Yeah, so after the tuition ends, Sarah's father was supposed to come and pick her up, but something happened, and apparently Sarah had to go to the train station and get a train home. So me and Jimmy were already planning on going along the road to train station for a fucking smoke. And since we forgot it, like, going to the train station idea actually made us remember that we had to go get some smokes. And then, so basically what ended up happening was that me, Jimmy, and Sarah went on that ride to the train station. You feel me, fam? So both of them walking, and I'm in the middle with my bicycle on my right hand, just dragging it along for the sake of having it. I don't know. But then Sarah is like, "Hey, do you guys smoke?" And I was like stone cold, like literally. I have no fucking idea like how to respond to that shit. I'm completely new, you could say, a fucking silver one at smoking, if you'd say so. Maybe unranked, I don't know. Who cares? And on the other hand, Jimmy was like, he's already like buffed up his fucking chest and shit, and he's like, "Oh, I know. You light that shit up and put it in your mouth and smoke it. Yeah, yeah. I do that. I do that every day, every other week. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did that with my father. Yeah." Maybe he didn't say that. I'm just saying that just for the sake of the story. So yeah, after all the talk, Sarah decided to take us off into this corner. So apparently, Sarah had like a whole pack of smokes in a pot. You feel me? And she wanted to have that before she went back home. I don't know how she managed to smoke with her parents around, but hey, if that was my parents, like, I would be kicked out of the house before I know it. Like, my parents would literally disown me if I went around smoking in front of them, which I don't, by the way, anymore. So yeah, I think I'm completely in the safe, and I'm not gonna get kicked out of the house, even though I don't live in my own house anymore. That's some shit. So anyways, Sarah hands us over the 3 fucking cigarettes, okay? And apparently Jimmy decided to light all 3 up like in a bunch. And I don't know if you do that or not, but apparently Sarah got like really mad at that when he like bundled up all the 3 cigarettes and actually light them up together. And that was probably the most mad I've seen Sarah in all my years of the physics classes and my school. Yeah, that must have been the most mad she's been. After lighting up the cigarettes, Jimmy decides to give one to each of us, and both of them start smoking. And I'm still holding the cigarette and looking at it, like, how the hell am I supposed to take this in? And suddenly, in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, hey, this shit is bad. You shouldn't do it. Like, I could literally feel my conscience being like, the guy from The Office. You feel me? He's like, no, stop, no. But here I am. I'm just about to put it to my mouth, and Jimmy's like, yo, what's up? And here I am, just looking at it, like, how do I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck am I supposed to do with it. Like, do I eat it? Do I inhale it? Do I keep it in my mouth? So what I did for my first time on smoking, I literally put the cigarette in my mouth. I took a puff, and I didn't like totally put it in, which I later came to know that you're supposed to actually take it in, not just keep it in your mouth. I'm just holding it in my mouth and like holding my cheek muscles so tight. I'm just holding the smoke inside my mouth with a stiff fucking face. Like, you literally, you look at me at that point and you would feel like an 80-year-old grandpa who's been constipated for like 3 fucking weeks and had a shower or anything, and just looking at you with the dead expression, like, kill me already, I don't want to live anymore. And finally, after like, when I'm looking at like Jimmy and Sarah just putting out the smoke, then I'm like slowly throwing out the smoke from inside my mouth, like that was the perfect way to blend in, like, literally without taking in the smoke. I think Sarah actually figured out what the fuck I was doing, actually, because she was looking at me with that, with that disgusted eyes, when you disrespect the art of something pure and shit. Feel me? And I could probably understand that she was getting what I was actually doing, So she didn't tell me anything though, but she definitely understood what I was doing. So back in my head, I'm like thinking, yo, I fucking nailed this. I fucking nailed this. That's what I was thinking, like, at that point. And literally, and the next thing I know is after all the smoking shit is done, alright, then how am I gonna get this smell out of my mouth, dude? I'm gonna go home and my mom's gonna figure this shit out. But lucky for me, the moment we finished up smoking, I got a call from my mom that she had a night shift at a hospital. By the way, my mom is a nurse, so yeah, she knows how to figure out smokers and shit. Yeah, she does. So yeah, she had a night shift, so it was like a very good opportunity for me. So I made it like literally impossible for me to meet her before she went off for a job. She was gonna go at 9, and I ended up going back to home at 9:30. I literally made clear that I was half an hour late so that I wouldn't meet her when I got back there. Because if I do, I know that's the last night I'm gonna be there in that house. I know that for a fact. That was quite an experience though. My mom comes back for dinner, and what I do, is I already tucked myself into the bed. I don't give a shit. I don't want you to smell my mouth. I'm just all under the blanket, like totally covered up and shit. But somehow she still asks me, "Did you smoke or something?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, how did she know?" And at that moment, I had like this literal fucking idea. Like, probably, I don't know, a mental fucking genius I am. I literally said, Mr. Bean was smoking while he was on the tuition, so that might be the smell from my shirt, probably. Yep. Sorry, Mr. Bean. If you're hearing this, if you're listening to this, I'm really sorry, Mr. Bean. I love you, but sorry for that night. I had to do it, sir. So yeah, that was my very first experience with smokes. Not too much like shabby, I guess, but hey, it's better than getting KO'd with a Mortal Kombat fatality in the middle of the night, like you're fighting Kim Jong Un with a fucking fist IRL. I don't know. That wouldn't be good, especially if he's sitting on top of you and punching you like a fucking punching bag. Well, I guess that's the end of the story, and I guess I could still tell another story, like when I literally tried to hide the smoking habit from Mr. Bean. Like, so yeah, let me actually tell that. Like, it was a Tuesday evening, alright, in the month of December. It was literally pretty cold, and I was in a hoodie, and I had a beanie on, alright. I had a fucking beanie on. Like, who the fuck wears a beanie and goes to fucking tuitions? I don't know. I had a fucking hoodie, a beanie, some thick ass fucking gloves, and I was riding my bicycle. So yeah, after I reached my tuition, like I was about 30 minutes before the tuition could start, so we literally had like half an hour to kill some time. Actually, now that I think about it again, it must have been more than a half an hour because we had quite some time on our hand. So me and Jimmy, and this time Sarah hasn't arrived yet. It's just me and Jimmy in the hall room where Mr. Bean would do his tuitions and shit. So me and Jimmy decide to go out and have another smoke. So me and Jimmy get on my bike, and we both ride over to some distance, a little bit far from Mr. Bean's house. All right, we actually saw Mr. Bean riding home on his fucking bike. So me and Jimmy go under a tree, and we decide to light up the smokes together. I still hadn't figured out the way to properly do that shit, and let me tell you, until the very very end of my tuition days, I didn't fully take the smoke in. After I light the cigarette, I'm like holding the cigarette and like looking like, what am I doing with my life? We had one puff each, and then out of all the time, I actually remembered, like, how are we gonna hide this from Mr. Bean when he comes in? He's gonna smell this shit and he's gonna know. So the brilliant idea that came from me was that we both take our beanies, shove that beanie into our mouth, and take that smoke through the fucking beanie. It's like, I don't know, adding another layer of fucking filter to that. So it was a dumb idea, alright. Now that I think about it, it's actually a pretty fucking dumb idea. But we actually went along and did that. We actually did that, alright. No joke. We actually did that. So, like, there was this one couple which is walking across the street. They was like looking at us, just shoving our beanies into our mouth. Like, who the fuck does that? Jesus, God save me. So after we put in the beanies into our mouths, we literally take the cigarettes, put it in between the beanies, and start smoking. Alright. So after we're done, we just hopped on my bicycle, and both of us went on towards the tuition. And while we were on the way, Jimmy decided to sniff my fucking beanie, and he was like, "Yo, dude, you're not gonna like this. Your beanie stinks of fucking cigarettes right now." And I'm like, "Okay, this is not good. This is so not good." So yeah, me and Jimmy just got off our bicycle and literally started sniffing our beanies. And shit you not, it smelled worse than my fucking hair on a day I didn't take a bath. It smelled worse than that. So we had no way to fucking get that shit off without actually washing that. So we got on a bike, accepted our fate, like we're gonna get butt whooped by Mr. Bean right now. We don't care. We have to go there at least and beg for his mercy, I guess. I don't know. So going to the tuition, and the only people in the tuition at that time were me, Jimmy, Sarah, and apparently Sarah had magically come after we left for the smoke, and Mr. Bean's little daughter. And when I say little, it doesn't mean like she was like little, but she was like like lower teenage, while we were like the upper teenage sort of thing. So she was also there. We're gonna call her Elsa, probably. Who cares at this point? By names, who even cares at this point? So yeah, after we got in, like, me and Jimmy just sat there staring at each other, like praying to the gods of smoking and every other god that exists out there, like, so that no one actually finds us out. And then I look at Sarah from the corner of my eye, and she's like nodding her head slowly. Like, you could tell a person knows that you have done something. You could tell by the nodding. Like first of all, she had like really tiny eyes. Like, if I might say so. Don't get mad at me, Sarah, if you're watching this. Alright. So she had literally like tiny eyes. So when she's like almost closed those eyes, they look like fucking Chinese kid. Nothing against the Chinese kids, by the way. So yeah, just imagine someone who is short, knows about smoking, and you're looking at that person from the corner of your eyes, and she's nodding at you. Yep, that means you're fucked up. You're successfully fucked up. And then she's like, "So how many packs did you smoke?" It was smelling so bad. Like, at a point of time before Mr. Bean came in, the whole room was stinking of cigarettes. Like, I'm not even kidding. But we literally smoked one cigarette, just one. I don't know what that cigarette was. It was a pretty strong one, I'll have to say that. So Elsa, on the other hand, she was like, "Where is the smoke coming from?" And by the time she asked that question, me and Jimmy had already put down our beanies, and our beanies were on the table, right? So Elsa grabs my beanie and she sniffs into it, like, and she goes, "What the fuck have you been doing, both of you?" And she just straight up goes for both of us, because she knows that wherever I go, this Jimmy is always there. So we basically just got red-handed right there. We just begged them, like, "Don't tell this to anyone, not to Mr. Bean at least." So at that very moment where we are saying, "Don't tell this to Mr. Bean," Mr. Bean decides to walk in through the curtain, like he is some, main protagonist of a fucking movie. I don't know. He walks in, alright, and he's like, "Someone's been having a good time, haven't they?" And at that time, I realized that Mr. Bean was so chill about us smoking that he actually didn't tell our parents, which I'm really thankful to you for not telling us. I worship you till this day. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bean. But yeah, that was my second experience on smoking. Like, but that was pretty fucked up though. That whole fucking beanie thing that we did. I probably would never do that again. Never. I have another story for the time when he actually smoked cigarettes, but went along and with some other dude and had some weed. But that's for another story. But about my first time on weed. So yeah, look forward to that. And with that being said, that's the end of the video, people. Thank you for watching, and I literally want to say thank you so much for watching the videos for the past few weeks. I know I have been off YouTube for quite some time, and I don't deserve to say this, but please keep watching, and expect more videos coming soon. Probably I'll be doing more videos as soon as I get more time, you could say, because I've been into some in real life shit recently, and I'm doing this video before this week comes along, so you're going to probably see this after like 3 days of my recording. So yeah, that was my way of saying that, yeah, I'm trying to work hard. Don't leave me. Yeah, like this video if you enjoy. Go ahead, subscribe, and yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Also, if you leave a like on this video, I'll leave a fucking Starbucks mug filled with coffee, yeah, at your doorstep, on your desk, anywhere. If you're on your bed while watching this video and you hit the like, it'll be under your bed. Don't worry, it's ASAP delivery. And if you don't like the coffee, you can always charge back. So yeah, go ahead and like. And on a serious note, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.